G'day guys, Shane here, around the farm this morning, and I want to talk to you very briefly today about what I think is the most underutilised or underrated feature of the iPhone 11. What is it? Hang around and we'll find out straight after this. So the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 11 Pro, they both have wide-angle lenses, the ultra-wide-angle lens, and then the iPhone 11 Pro has a telephoto lens as well. What I want to talk to you though about today is the ultra-wide lens. And the ultra-wide lens on the iPhone 11 has a field of view of around about 120 degrees, which that's really wide. That's a fisheye sort of depth to it, if you like. And it's also an f2 lens, which means it's pretty quick. You can shoot in some pretty low light situations with that. And the wide-angle lens is even faster. It's like an f1.8, I believe it is, which is why we can shoot those cool star photos at night, and it does really well in that night mode. But what we want to talk about today is the ultra-wide lens and how we can use that ultra-wide lens. Now obviously you can use it in many landscape photography sort of photos, and I'll throw a few up here and you can see what I'm talking about. But what we're going to use it for today is to distort things, to really use that fisheye effect to make things look bigger than what they appear. How do we do it? Well, let's get into it and we'll find out. Now this buggy here, it's obviously covered in shit. We're on a dairy farm, for crying out loud. So how would you photograph this little buggy here? So it's a reasonably beefy looking machine. It's kind of like with the bull bar and the knobbly wheels and stuff. How would we photograph this? Well, if we go into the camera and we just use the 1x lens, which is the wide angle lens, and we take a photo of this buggy, well, that's great, that's fine. If we use the ultra wide angle lens, you can see there, as we get closer to it, see how it blows out? It bubbles out on the front corner there. So if we turn this upside down, bring it down low, about that angle there, so we're not losing the windshield and stuff, go in a bit closer, take a photo with that, and you can see there, it really blows out and distorts the front of that buggy, making it look bigger than what it actually is. How else can we use this? Well, let's try some other things. Photographing the buggy is one thing, but one thing that using that wide angle lens is well for is animals. So all these girls here, obviously they come in for the pellets in the morning, and they're quite approachable animals. I'm going to try with this girl right here at the front. She looks more inquisitive than the rest of them, so we'll try her. You little one. Yeah, she's curious. We want to get as close as we can. So what we photographed earlier with the calves, well, clearly that didn't work. But what we've got here now, these girls are a little bit older. They're not quite as skittish, so we should be able to get a good photo of these. Let's have a quick look. We'll give it some time. They'll move away a little bit. Here we go, it's the wide angle lens, nice and close, bam. Now how's that? How's that for a nose? That's a pretty cool photo. Because these girls are being so cooperative, what I'll do, I'll take a photo with the wide angle and the ultra wide angle, and we can see the difference. So this one here, it's the wide angle. There's a big nose, bit of a tongue, she's trying to lick the camera. What are you doing, mate? And you could see there it was a little bit hard to follow that nose around. So I'll try the ultra wide and we'll see how we go. That is heaps better. Before we get out of here, I'll just quickly mention that these animals all know me. Like, I work with these animals almost every day. I'm certainly not suggesting that you just go and jump over a fence at a farm somewhere and do this. Chances are, and the chances are pretty bloody high, you'll get hurt. Most of these animals know me. There's a bull in the back there. He's sticking his head up over there. He's watching me because he's not familiar with me. And I'm not familiar with him, so we'll keep an eye on each other. But the rest of these girls, they know me pretty well. So you wouldn't go and jump over a fence and try this on a farm. You'll almost certainly get hurt. That's the biggest warning I can give you. What other animals can we photograph doing this sort of method, using this sort of method with the ultra wide lens? Well, if you've got pets, let's try pets. So we'll duck home and we'll photograph some of the dogs at home. So what we'll try is with, sit down. What we'll try is with the same technique that we just did with the cows, we'll do the same thing with Frankie here. All right, turn that on. It's going to go to the ultra wide lens. We'll turn it upside down. Then we'll get nice and close to Frankie. We've got the sun sitting there behind the back. Good girl, good girl. Alright guys, a few things to take away from this today. One, if you want to go and take photos of cows, get permission first. You really need to be comfortable with these animals and they need to be comfortable with you for you to get down low and do what you're doing there. If you're not comfortable with it, or they're not comfortable with you, chances are they're going to probably run all over you and you're going to end up in a horrible mess. So go and see the farmer first and ask for permission to go and do that. If you don't want to photograph animals that are like livestock animals, you can go and photograph cars, motorbikes, anything at all. Go and photograph your pets, your cats, your dogs. Later in future videos, we will see some baby goats and kid goats on our farm just here. There's really no end to what you can do with this. So I would encourage you not to use just a regular lens on your camera. Use all of them. Definitely use the ultra wide angle lens. It's the most underrated lens on these phones. All right guys, that's it for today. I'll see you all on Friday for 5 Minute Friday. See you then.